We'll see our next data structure, that is set. Now see the definition of set. A set is an unordered collection of unique and immutable objects enclosed within the curly braces. Means like in case of list we use square brackets, in case of tuple we use parentheses. Now in case of set we'll go with curly braces. In case of set, you just understand these three words properly. It is unordered collection of unique and immutable objects. First, it is unordered collection. What is meant by unordered collection? In case of list, we have said it is an ordered collection. In case of tuple, it is an ordered collection. But in case of set, it is an unordered collection. So it means that tuple and list elements are indexed. Means every element is having one index value, and you can access those elements by using that index value with square bracket. But in case of set, no index is attached to the elements. In case of set, there is no indexing, there is no index attached to any element. So in that way, it is unordered collection. You can't access individual element. There is no indexing, there is no slicing, because element is not attached with any index value. Next, set elements are unique. It means that there is no duplicate value. Elements of the set cannot be duplicate. Next, set elements are immutable. Means you can't change value of that element of set here. Just check how we can create set. So suppose this is our set. We have to create it by using braces now. So as we have said, set is also collection of different data types. So it can contain integer value, it can contain fractional value, it can contain string value. This is our set. We can access this set by saying print s, and can print this set like this. But see, you can't say something like this, s of 0, you will get an error. Here error message properly, set object is not subscriptable. Set object is not subscriptable. So you can access set as a whole, but you can't access individual element of a set. Now when you printing this set, you can see there is no as such a sequence like here. First is a string, then is a fractional number, then there are two integers. While creating, we have created with two integer, fractional number and string. So that suggests it is an unordered collection. Next one, another point you can see here. Suppose if we add another element having same value as a 23, and if you print this set, you can see 23 comes only once, because in case of set there is no duplicate element. So 23 can be only 23 can available only once here. So that is one another aspect of set. So this is regarding with set. Set we have said it's the unordered collection. That suggests by means of no indexing, you can't access any element like providing index or slicing like this. Second, no duplicate, that we have seen you can't. Means like right now we are having two duplicate elements, but it is printing only one. So in collection, it will be considered as only one value. And third option is that it is immutable one. So you can't change the value of this element because there is no any such an option to access this individual element. So in that point of view, it is immutable one. So this is regarding with set collection. So this is how these things we have seen already. We'll just mention it by this slide only. First one, you can create a set like this, that we have said it is unordered. See here, while printing it is printing 1 2 3 5, but while creating we have created like 1 3 2 5. Next, set can have a different data types, that also we have seen. You can create set by using set function also, that is one we will see here. Okay, you can create set by calling set function and passing any predefined sequence. Like we can create set by using list also, like this. You can create set by using tuple also, like this. Or we can create a set by using string also, like this. Okay, so this is one function set. By using also we can create a set. We have seen there is no possibility of duplicate elements, and this is also we have seen it is immutable. You can't change value. In fact, we can't say like this, so there is no option of changing value. Now I'll go through some functions, rather methods available in set class. Now we can check the type of set here by printing like this, type s. So this will print class name of a set. So class name is also set. So these are the methods available in this set class which we can use to operate on sets. So these are the two methods, discard and remove. Now see, both methods are doing same work. Means by using discard we can delete element of a set, and by using remove method also we can remove item from the set here. See here, this is a set having some 1 2 3 4 5 values, then we are passing this element value to discard method and it removes from this particular set. Same procedure we are implying by means of remove method. And what is the difference? Difference in case of discard and remove method is this, that if element doesn't exist, discard will not provide any, ignores it, means it will not provide any error to you, but if in case of remove it rises an error. So just check here, this is our set having some values like, this is my set having numbers from 1 to 8. Now we first use this discard method and remove this third element, then print S. So you can see it is removed from your collection. Now suppose if you are saying discard 30, now 30 is not available in your set, but it is not giving you any error or something like that, it just ignores it. But instead of that, suppose now if we use remove method and remove this third element, in fact remove element 3, so it once again removed from your collection. Now call the remove method, and just set value as a 30. Here you can see you are getting key error when you are trying to remove some value which is not available in collection. So that is difference between discard and remove. So using discard and remove, we can remove elements from set. Now check next method, that is pop method. Pop method removes first element from this set. Now here suppose this is your collection and you call this pop method over here. We'll remove this first element from this collection here. Now see, first element, when we are saying, first we need to understand set is unordered collections. You can't predict how elements are organized. If you print it, you can see this one is actually getting sorted in this fashion. It's not compulsory to sort it. It's like, suppose say if I use some text over here in between, then in that case it may give you different kind of results over here. Suppose if I use some fractional number like this, so now results are coming in different ways. So in whatever way it organizes, it always removes first element from that particular set here. This pop method. Here you can call it again. So if you call it, it is removing this element first, and then it is removing this element. Now see, pop also removes elements from your set. See, these three methods, discard, remove, pop, all are removing elements from your collection. Discard removes element whatever you're sending as a parameter to the function. Remove also does the same thing. We have seen the difference between discard and remove. Pop always removes first elements. An important thing is that pop returns that element as a return value of function method. Okay, pop always returns that value removed from set as a return value here. And last method to remove element is a clear, so that will completely clear your set. So if you call this method, your set will be empty. So if you try to print this set, thing will get printed. It will only print empty set over there. Okay, so these are some methods by which we can remove elements from set. Now we'll check these two methods and an update by which we can add elements to existing set here. Using add method, we can add single element to set. Here, suppose this is our existing set and some values like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can add new elements to set by calling this add function. Adding, we can go with integers, fractional numbers, string, like this. We can print this set output. And even add tuples also. We give you outcome like this. Don't forget, set doesn't allow duplicate element, so 1, 2, 3 will occur only once in given set here. Okay, so add is a method by which we can add elements to existing set here. Then there is another method, that is update. By update also we can add elements to existing set, but in this case you need to pass iterable object. Iterable object means, once again, you need to send some sequence here. It's like either say string, list, tuple, or another set. Okay, so it's an update. It's a kind of extension option. It's like your set is already there. You're just extending with some new values here. So to update, we can pass list like this. Okay, you can send any number of values like this here. Even you can go with another set also. Your new set with all updated values here. See, to update method, we send three sequences. First one is a list, second one is a tuple, third one is a set. So we can send any number of sequence objects to update method to update existing set here. So these are two methods, add and update, by which we can add or update our existing set. Now next, see, these three are important methods: union, intersection, and difference. Now first of all, see, set sequence in Python represents set in mathematics. Set sequence in Python is used to represent set in mathematics. So we are carrying out this union, intersection, all this statistical operation on mathematical set. On the same line, we can perform these operations on this Python set also by using these methods: union, intersection, and difference. In case of union, it just creates a new set with combining these two sets. It's like here, if you call this method a union dot b, it will create a set with all these elements here. We can perform this operation by using this operator also, which is called as a union operator, which we can only use with set values over here. Okay, so this is a union which combines two sets and create new set. Next operation is the intersection operation. So we can call this function a dot intersection b. In this case, it will create a new set with all common elements from these two sets here, a and b. So if suppose you are considering these two sets, a with 1 to 5 value, b with 4 to 6, common elements are 4, 5. So new set will contain these two values here. We can even perform this intersection operation by using this operator also. Finally, we are having one difference method, a dot difference b. This is the way we can create a difference. Difference will just generate one number, which is means like it is just minus kind of operation. We are just deducting b from a. So in that case, remaining value will be 6. That you can carry out by this minus operator. So see here, we can perform all these operations. So suppose this is our one set S1 with values. This is our second set S2. First, suppose we are creating S3 by calling this union function or union method. It will create new set S3 which will contain all members of S1 and S2 like this. Or even we can perform this operation by using this operator also. Result will remain same. Next, we will go with intersection operation. This is a function to perform this intersection operation. Intersection will create a set by combining common elements from both sets only. Okay, so 4, 5 are only two common elements in S1 and S2. So S3 contains these two numbers. We can carry out this operation by using this operator also like this. Next, we can perform minus operation, that is difference operation. So S1 dot difference, not discard, difference. It will only generate here. It will just subtract this value from this value and create one new set which is difference between S1 and S2. If you call this method like this, S2 difference S1, it will contain only 6. Okay, same operation we can carry out by minus operator also. So it's a minus operation. We are just subtracting S1 from S2. Okay, so these are very important operations of set, union, intersection, and difference. That's all regarding with set. Once again, set, we have said it is a unordered, unique, and immutable objects collection. Unordered means there is no indexing. Unique means no duplicate. Immutable objects means you can't change content of set.